Part one, Sean Combs, Diddy, whatever name you want to call him by, girl, this whole situation just keeps getting messier. And the more you look into it, the more you start connecting dots that honestly don't sit right at all. So listen, let me walk you through this properly, because this isn't just random gossip anymore. This is one of those stories where you start off thinking it's drama, and then halfway through you're like, wait, something deeper is going on here. Now, first thing, you've got Usher out here publicly defending Sean Combs, like straight up saying he has nothing negative to say about him. And that alone had people raising eyebrows, because how are you defending someone who the entire industry is side-eyeing right now? Usher literally said his experience with Diddy wasn't what the world thinks, that Diddy has been misrepresented. And okay, fine, everyone has their own experience, but here's where it starts getting weird. Because at the same time, you've got all these stories coming out about what actually goes on behind the scenes in that industry. And not just from random people, from insiders, from artists, from people who were there. And then you bring in Katt Williams. Now you already know when Katt Williams starts talking, he's not playing around. That man doesn't just speak for attention. He speaks like someone who's been watching everything quietly for years. He straight up said, all these big names, all these powerful people, their time is up. Everything is going to come out. And since he said that, it really feels like the industry has been in chaos ever since. But here's where it gets real interesting, because now Katt Williams is being linked into this whole situation between Usher and Justin Bieber. And girl, this is where it starts getting uncomfortable. So apparently there was this heated moment between Usher and Justin Bieber at a party, Beyonce and Jay-Z's Oscars after party of all places. Not some random club, a high-level elite Hollywood event. And according to reports, Usher approached Justin with energy, like not friendly energy, tense energy, and it turned into a whole situation. Now, obviously, people started asking questions, because let's be real, Usher and Justin, that's not just two random artists. That's mentor and protege. Usher was the one who helped bring Justin into the industry after Scooter Braun found him. They were close, like really close at one point. So for things to go from that to Justin not even wanting to show up for Usher's Super Bowl performance, that's not normal. Something happened, and people are starting to think they know what that something is. Because back when Justin Bieber first came into the industry, Usher introduced him to Sean Combs, and at the time it was presented as mentorship. You know how they always say, oh, he's gonna learn from the best, he's gonna be guided, all that polished industry talk. But what people are questioning now is, what kind of mentorship was that really? Because there's footage still online of young Justin Bieber spending time at Diddy's mansion. And if you go back and watch it now, it doesn't feel the same. At first, it looked innocent, like a young kid excited to be around powerful people. But now, when you watch it back, you can literally see moments where Justin looks uncomfortable. Like he thought he was stepping into one world and then realized it was something completely different. And that's where people start connecting things to how Justin turned out later. Because think about it. Justin went from being this bright, excited kid to struggling publicly with addiction, mental health, identity, everything. He even leaned heavily into religion, got married young, almost like he was trying to escape something. And then there's that moment where he talks about Billie Eilish. The way he spoke about her, that wasn't just casual concern. That was someone who had been through something and didn't want her to go through the same thing. He literally said he didn't want her to experience what he experienced. Now pause for a second, because that alone tells you whatever Justin went through in that industry, it wasn't light. And now people are asking, did Usher know exactly what he was doing when he introduced Justin to Diddy? Because here's the part that really makes people uncomfortable. Even back then, it wasn't exactly a secret that Diddy had a reputation. There were rumors, stories, whispers in the industry. And Usher himself, he was introduced to Diddy at just 14 years old. Same age, same setup, same mentorship narrative. So now people are looking at this whole situation like, wait a minute, was this a cycle? Was Justin Bieber just the next version of what Usher went through? And if that's the case, then why is Usher still defending Diddy so hard? That's the question nobody can seem to answer right now. Part 2. And this is where it gets even more uncomfortable, because once you start digging into Usher's past with Sean Combs, the pattern doesn't just look similar, it looks almost identical. Usher was only 14 when he got sent to live with Diddy in New York. 14. That's not even an age where you fully understand the world, let alone the music industry. And at the time, it was all packaged as opportunity, growth, mentorship. The same exact words used later with Justin Bieber. But years later, when Usher was asked about what really happened during that time, his energy changed. He was open, talking freely, until certain questions came up, and suddenly he got nervous. He didn't deny anything outright. He didn't clarify. He just said something like, "I'll save that for my book." Now, girl, when someone says that, you already know there's a story there. Because if everything was normal, you just say it, there's nothing to save. And this is where people started revisiting old rumors. There were whispers for years about what went on at Diddy's house. Not just parties, but situations. Things that didn't align with what the public saw. And then things started resurfacing. There was talk about people witnessing things, about people knowing things, about certain names being tied to experiences that never fully made it into the spotlight. Even people close to the situation have hinted that Usher saw a lot more than he's ever said publicly, and not just saw, but experienced. Now, whether every detail out there is true or not, that's a different conversation. But what's clear is there's too much smoke for people to believe there's no fire. And then you bring Katt Williams back into this. Because Katt didn't just randomly start talking about this industry. He's been hinting at this for years. He said people tried to pull him into situations too. He claimed that Sean Combs himself offered him money, big money, multiple times. And not just casual offers. He said he turned down millions repeatedly. And the way he said it, it wasn't like a joke. It was like someone who knew exactly what those offers came with and chose to walk away. Now think about that for a second. Someone is offering you life-changing money over and over again, and you keep saying no. That's not normal unless there's something attached to it that you don't want anything to do with. And Katt made it clear he wasn't willing to compromise himself for it. He even brought up other powerful figures in Hollywood, saying similar things happened with them too. Which is why when Katt started speaking recently, people didn't just brush it off, because everything he hinted at slowly started lining up with stories that were already floating around. And now, suddenly, you've got this tension between Usher and Justin Bieber happening publicly. And people are connecting it back to all of this. Because if Justin Bieber really went through something under that mentorship and Usher was the one who introduced him into that environment, that changes how you look at everything. It's not just a career move anymore. It becomes personal, it becomes betrayal, and that might explain why Justin has kept his distance for years. Because let's be honest, it's not like Justin just drifted away quietly. He pulled back hard. He stopped showing up, stopped collaborating, stopped even acknowledging certain relationships that used to define his career. And now when you go back and look at it with this context, it hits different. Even small moments like that clip where Justin is talking about how people in the industry will say they love you and then turn their back on you instantly.